In the age of AI, the show for leaders who want real results, not more noise. Join Emmanuel Rose as he helps business builders turn AI from a confusing add-on into a practical advantage with clearer messaging, stronger trust, and smarter systems. If you felt a shift happening in real time, you're not imagining it. In the agentic pivot, Emmanuel calls it the move from experimenting with AI to building with it, so it supports your team, your brand, and your growth. Let's get into it.
On June 2nd, OpenAI shipped a feature called Sites. You describe the app you want, an agent builds it, it hosts it, it hands you a URL. That's the whole pitch for Lovable, a company worth $6.6 billion. Here's the part that should stop you. Lovable is listed as one of OpenAI's launch partners for this. Partner and target, same announcement, same day. If your business is one feature away from being free, this episode is for you. Human in the loop. Wow, think about when websites used to take months to develop and create, and there was lots of wireframes and back and forth with clients. And now I have created prototype websites for clients in as little as 30 minutes, and they're amazing, amazing tools. So the pace of which we can build things that used to take months in just a matter of hours is phenomenal. And we have to remember that it's a very dynamic marketplace. And I'm Emmanuel Rose. This is Marketing in the Age of AI. Today, we're talking about what happens when the model company builds your product and gives it away. Here's where we're headed. What OpenAI Sites actually is and why it matters right now. The key players, including the $6.6 billion company OpenAI just walked up to, the numbers that tell you how big this gets, and the one move that protects your business this week. What is OpenAI's Lovable competitor and why now? Let's be clear about what shipped. For 2 years, there's been a category called vibe coding. You type what you want in plain English, the software gets built, no code, no deploy step, no terminal, no CLI. Think about the old way for a second. You wanted a simple internal dashboard, you'd scope it, you'd hire a developer or buy a tool, you'd wait days, maybe weeks, you'd pay for hosting. The new way, you describe it in a sentence and it's live in minutes. Lovable, Bolt, Replit, Vercel, billions of dollars chasing that one promise. Describe it and ship it. On June 2nd, at an event they called Intelligence at Work, OpenAI walked into that room. Sites is built on Codex. You give it your notes, your ideas, your plain instructions. It turns them into an interactive web app, a dashboard, a planner, a simple internal tool. Then it hosts the thing and hands you a link to share. Picture what that means in practice. A marketing lead types out a campaign tracker. A sales manager describes a pipeline dashboard. An ops person asks for an event day checklist app. Minutes later, all three exist, hosted with a URL. It works a little differently from the old no-code tools. You're not picking a template and editing it. You're handing a work product to an agent, then you inspect it, fix it, save it, and deploy it. They shipped more than just sites. There's a feature called annotations. You click one specific part of the result and you tell it to fix only that part. No more regenerating the whole thing and hoping. And 6 role plugins built for sales, marketing, finance, HR, product, and ops. So Codex already knows the tools those teams use. Right now, it's on by default for ChatGPT Business and available on Enterprise when an admin turns it on. It's not in their free tier yet, but that's where it's headed. Why now? Because this is the clearest example yet of the pattern that's going to define a year. The companies are done sitting at the model layer. They're walking the application layer, and they're shipping the exact features that single purpose startups charge you for. That's the real story. It isn't sites, it's the pattern. Sites is just the one that you can see this week. The key players start with OpenAI itself. Sites is live right now. It's on by default for ChatGPT Business. It's available on Enterprise when an admin turns it on. And OpenAI isn't entering this market from a standing start. Codex already serves more than 2 million weekly users. That's up 5 times in 3 months, growing more than 70% month over month. Think about that. They're not launched. They already have the developers and they have the daily habit. Now, Lovable. This is the company that made the category famous. The founder and CEO is Anton Osika. December, they raised a $330 million Series B at a 6.6B valuation, led by Capital IG and Menlo Ventures. Total raised was around 650 million. The traction is staggering. Around 8 million users, more than 100,000 new projects created every single day, more than 25 million projects in their first year alone. That's the prize OpenAI just pointed at. The move you can't miss. Lovable is also named a launch partner for Sites. Read that again. The company most exposed to this feature is helping launch it. That's not a contradiction. That's the new rule. The platform partners with you and competes with you at the same time. It doesn't have to beat you. It just has to make you optional. The rest of the field plays the same game. Bolt for fast prompt app builds. Replit with an agent that builds and runs in a hosted workspace. For Cell, which grew from a component generator into a full app. Wix, Webflow, Base 44, all named in OpenAI's partner ecosystem. Strong companies, every one of them now standing in a category the model maker just walked into. The numbers that matter. 5 numbers, each one with a so what. Number 1 on June 2nd, that's when Sites shipped. So what? The competitor isn't a rumor, it's live this month. Number 2, more than 2 million weekly Codex users, up 5 times in 3 months. So what? OpenAI brought distribution and habit with it. You're not just competing with a new product, you're competing with a product people already open every day. Number 3, Lovable at 6.6B valuation, 650 million raised. So what? This category is proven and richly funded. That's exactly why a bigger player wants it. Number 4, Lovable's revenue went from about 100 million annualized in July to roughly 400 million by February. 4 times in 7 months. So what? Demand for describe it and ship it is enormous and real. That hunger is the reason OpenAI showed up. Number 5, OpenAI closed a $122 billion round at an $850 billion valuation, pulling in about $2 billion a month. So what? When a company that size ships your feature for free inside a product people already pay for, we have a nicer interface, is not a defense. One more, because it's the one that hits home. An analysis of more than 500 founders found 90% of AI wrappers end up competing purely on price within 6 months. 95% never move past that thin wrapper layer. And one founder watched revenue drop 70% in 60 days after OpenAI shipped a competing feature. That's not a forecast. People are living it right now. And here's my hot take. And here's where I might lose you. Getting absorbed by OpenAI is the best thing that can happen to a smart marketer this year. Everyone's reading the Sites launch as a funnel. I'm telling you, it's a gift. The build was never your edge. Producing the assets was never where the money lived. The money was always in knowing what to build and why, for whom, tied to what plan. When OpenAI makes the production free, It doesn't destroy your value. It exposes whether you had any. If you're hiding behind we make the thing, you're in trouble. Own the strategy, the data relationship, you just the most expensive research department on earth working for you for nothing. And while we're at it, stop using rapper as an insult. Lovable is a rapper. It's worth $6.5 billion. The word isn't the problem. The only question that matters is whether you own the data, distribution, or a workflow that compounds. Plenty of real companies have no moat. Plenty of rappers have a deep one. Now, the part most people miss entirely. Look again at Lovable being a partner and a competitor in the same breath. This is the whole game in miniature. The platform doesn't show up to kill you, it shows up to make you a feature it can switch on whenever it wants. Your job is to build something the platform needs, not something it can absorb on a Tuesday. Be the data, be the distribution, be the relationship. Don't be the button. And here's the marketer's angle. So what do you actually do? Let's get specific by who you are. If you run an agency, stop selling the deliverable, start selling the judgment around it. We build you a page with AI is now a free feature. Gone. We know which page to build, for whom, and how it fits a 12-month rev plan. That is not free, and it never will be. Let me make that concrete. The old agency offer was, we'll build you a microsite for $15,000. The new offer is, we'll build the microsite in an afternoon, and the $15,000 buys the positioning, the audience research data we capture from it. Same price, completely different thing you're selling. One is a commodity, the other cannot be copied. The build collapses to minutes, the strategy, the positioning, the offer, and the data you own. Those hold their value, charge for those. If you lead a marketing team in-house, this is your permission slip to kill tool sprawl. A pile of single feature AI subscriptions is about to get absorbed into platforms you already pay for. Audit them. Cancel the ones that are one feature away from free. Take that money and put it into the three things a model can't copy from the outside: proprietary owned audience, deep workflow integration. Think of your moat in layers: a data moat, the information you only have; a workflow moat, the way your customers' workflows through your products, so leaving hurts; and brand, the trust that makes someone choose you before they comparison shop. A model in a data center can copy your features overnight. It cannot copy any of the previous three. And for everyone listening, the mindset shift. Speed of production is no longer a moat. Everyone is going to have it. The moat moved. It's taste now. It's the data you own. It's your distribution. It's being woven so tightly into a customer's workflow that leaving is painful. Use the free build tools shamelessly. Stop charging premium prices for the act of building. Here's what you do this week. I call it the absorption audit, and it's in 5 steps. Step 1, every AI tool and every AI service line you pay for or you sell. 1 line each. Just get them down. Step 2, for each one, ask a single question. Drop this for free next month. Would my customers still need me? Mark it yes, no, or unsure. Let me walk one through. So you pay for an AI tool that writes social captions. Ask the questions. If that became a free button inside a platform you already use, would anyone still pay you for captions alone? Probably not. That's a no. Now you know. Step 3, for every no and every unsure, find the part that survives. Behind every commodity build, there's a decision that isn't a commodity. Which offer, which audience, which data. With those captions, the survivor isn't the writing. It's knowing the voice, the audience, and what actually converts. Write the survivor down. Step 4, rebuild the offer around the stop charging for the build, charge the judgment, the strategy, and the data you own. Build faster and keep the margin. You're not losing the work, you're shedding the part that will be about worth 0. Start with one data flywheel this quarter. Pick one place where work creates information nobody else has. campaign results, customer language, conversion patterns, your own email list, captured on purpose in one place every time. Data is the one thing a model can't copy from the outside. It's what turns a rabbit. The difference between 10,000th customer getting more value. For the build layer itself, keep it simple. OpenAI sites or codecs for internal tools and dashboard. Lovable Bolt or customer-facing apps and sites. Loyalty to liability now. Let me leave you with one line. When the build becomes own this today, here's how I can help. At Strategic E-Marketing, this is the work we do every day. We help marketing teams and agency owners find the part of their business a platform can't absorb and build around it. Run the absorption audit this week. 5 steps, 1 question per tool. Tell me what you found. Bring me your questions on LinkedIn, and the sharp ones get answered on the show. I'm Emmanuel Rose. Keep honoring the human behind the lead, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to Marketing in the Age of AI. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. Your copy of Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI is available at Amazon.com or EmmanuelRose.com. You can also connect with Emmanuel on LinkedIn. Thanks again for